So when you work on these power panels, the easiest thing to do is light them up. Makes life a little easier. 2 screws hold the panel covers on. Let's take the screws out. Easier if I had a socket with me, but oh well. There's panel cover. There's our panel. That's the breaker that goes in the panel. I do believe I want that breaker right there. So there's our breaker panel. Got a few things we got to do here. So, you guys, when you look at these, I'm going to take, oh, holy hell, I think they've modified these damn panels. Yeah, they've modified them. This should have a 200 amp feed through here. Got a 200 amp coming in. Does not have the 200 amp feed through. My life sucks. So we just took and turned a 5-minute job, or well, probably about a 30-minute job, into about a 2-hour job. So this will be fun now. So these here have a top plate they come with. Goes right on the top of the panel. There's a big hole because these are designed for overhead service. Put your top cover on, top plate on here. Go ahead and just bolt everything down on there. Okay, I'm not going to fight this all damn day. 5/16 on a ratchet for that little nut right there. This will go faster now. So based on what you guys are doing is going to determine on your panel. Now with a panel like this, there's a bonding bar that comes pre-installed which bonds your ground and your neutral. Okay, that exists in your main panel, okay, which is the service panel, which is over here. So, and since this is a sub panel, basically considered like more like a sub panel, this needs to be removed because you only have this on your main panel coming in. Now, one of these bars here is going to be neutral, the other bar is going to be your ground. And the ground has to bond to the panel itself. Now there's plastic in here, so it's not bonded. So they give you this little green screw. It's a bonding screw, and you basically install the bonding screw into this bar, and then you take this bonding bar that bonds, well, that ties the neutral and the ground together. You take that off, and then you put this here screw in. So I'm going to go ahead and install this screw on the ground side, and this is what the electrical inspector, this is the first thing that he's going to look for. He's going to look for this little green screw because that tells him if the panel is grounded or not. So he wants to see that, and that's why it's green, just so he can easily spot it. So let's get this bonding bar off and let's get this screw installed. Now if you work for GE and you're like, oh my god, a homeowner's putting in one of these panels, please include instructions with these panels. They don't include instructions, and then they want to know why people get killed. They don't give instructions because they assume it's an electrician always putting this kind of stuff in, and most of the time it's not. So I was looking at this panel just now, and right here on this plastic down here at the bottom it says bond screw right there. Take this bond screw, I'm going to stick it right there where it actually says bond screw, and we're going to bond it. Screw in, that means the panel will be grounded. I'll just say 80 inches. So half of 80 is 40. We're just going to start right here where I see that, just kind of crossed. I'll have a line that way. And the fun part, and that is hold this thing there in place, which I need to find a block of wood. Okay. You guys really think I was going to stand here and hold this thing? This comes down to get the drilling. So this is what we're installing here. These are just standard concrete anchors, and we got a 1/2-inch bit. You should start off with a smaller bit, work your way up, and then that way when you go in you're accurate. Most important thing is make sure you drill straight when you try to put these in. So this is what we're going to put in here to anchor our panel. So let's come over to the wall, and I actually already got a little blue mark right there on the bit. Typically you want to mark your bit, that way you know exactly how deep you are, and that right there looks like I'm already marked. So main thing with these blocks, because they are hollow, when you drill in you want to be careful because one, you know, your drill will just go in and you'll blow out the inside. Second thing is when you drive these things in, you got to be careful also, or you'll knock these into the wall and then you'll lose them. Right there in that center. I got it right on the end of the cinder block, because you come over the cinder block, when you lay them, there's a little bit of it in there. That's that core. That's why it's good to have your bit here marked. My bit marks right there, and when I put my thumb all the way in there, I'm going a little bit past that. So that's about full depth right there. So now I got these two up here. All right, so we got the anchors. Gonna put the anchors in now. Hole drilled. Time for the anchors. 1/2-inch holes. Just need a hammer for this. Just realized that these bolts are longer than the anchors. Yeah, see that's not, see that bolt right there? That's not going to go in all the way. So we're going to have to drill some more. There we go. Let's go ahead and see about trying to get this panel mounted, shall we? So we got our socket here. Got our anchors. Trash can go over there. Got some screws in here, so I got to be careful not to stab ourselves. We got our panel. Should have moved the panel. It's got concrete all over it now. Yeah, you can tell, right? A little dusty. Okay, critical step. Might help if we actually put the anchors into the wall first. Let's go get these anchors in first. Yeah, let's see, which way should these things go? Main thing is just not sticking it too far into the holes. There's that one. That's what you got to be careful about if you don't use the right size bit, or the bit moves around a little too much on you. It'll end up pushing your anchors into the wall, which is not a good thing. That's what really the one thing I hate about using these, because even though that is a 1/2-inch bit, you're supposed to be able to just drive those in, and it's, yeah. But if you wiggle your bit a little bit, they don't go in right. I'm telling you guys this now. These companies anymore, they just try to make your fucking life miserable. They really do. They're changing everything. This bolt will not go in this panel. Now we get to drill the panel. Story of my life, right? What happens when you let foreigners take over your country? So we got this bolt. It will not fit through the panel because the hole's too small, so we're gonna have to drill it. It's not so bad when I'm right here and I got tools and stuff right here beside me. But when you're out on the job site in a field somewhere, or you ain't got your drills and stuff nearby, it's not good. That's the problem with drilling commercial panels. The steel in these things are so tough because they're built to last. Can't drill through them. All right, let's see how this goes up now. Yes. Got mud and dirt all over it now. Courtesy of the manufacturer, stupidity. This damn bolt still, I don't think I'm going to go through here. I'm still going to blame the manufacturer. I don't care. Remember I told you I don't like these stupid anchors? It's right here. Look, you got to get them lined up just right. You got to go perfect, and you got to catch them. If anybody wants to say I did not put these things on here, piss off, because this is already a big enough pain. I'll silicone across the top and down the sides, and that'll water tighten it, so it ain't gonna hurt it. Okay, so that panel is officially there. It's not going nowhere. Okay, we gotta tighten it up though. Let me check. I'm gonna double check for some silicone real fast. So this is kitchen and bath 100% silicone. What I'm gonna do is those two bolts on the inside the panel right there, before I tighten them down, right here at the very top where these two bolts are, I'm just gonna squirt a little in around them. All right, guys, so we got the power panel here installed on the one side. Still got to work on that right there, but we got to dig this ditch here. And I started on a little bit here. Still got a lot more to go. It's got to be 18 inches deep. But show you what we got going on here is we got our brackets down here to support our conduit and stuff, which are basically these right here is what it is. That's what pretty much goes on you want for your conduit. And we got our conduit connectors in here. We got our locks, and we got our bushings on top here. This side I had to drill with a hole saw. And there's a bar that goes across here which connects to neutral and ground. I removed that. I installed a whole house surge protector, and I got my nut right here for my ground that'll come up to the building. Well, not ground, but neutral, because this is going to be the neutral side. So I need to move, I think I'm going to move this down here, you know, just so it's further down on the bar. But we got our hots here. That's all for basically going to the building and stuff. And we got our ground. Now remember, you got to ground the panel, right? So there's a green screw here, which is your bonding screw. It's got to go in there. That's what the inspector looks for. And if you look right in there on that plastic, I don't know if you can see that, but it actually says bonding screw right there in that plastic. So, but anyways, we got the panel and everything here. It's on the wall. Got it all bolted up, everything. So we're working on that, and we're going to go ahead and keep working here. We got a scheduled power outage for tomorrow. My electrical permit and everything did in fact come through, so we do have our permit now in process. So we got a permit and stuff here, supposed to display it on the job site. So I got my permit, which is good. So that means we can get all this stuff wired up and we can start doing our electrical wiring. So that'll be good. All right, guys, it is raining. It is a muddy mess out here. You can tell where I've been working. And I just buttoned up this power panel right here. I got my conduit and everything installed down through here. And if we come over here, you guys can more or less see that I've wrapped up that side of the panel over there, but now I got to do this side right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this all up and everything. Now, you guys should never work on electrical or anything like that when it's raining, because you become ground, because you know you're wet, the ground's wet, so you become ground and then you get electrocuted. It's a lot safer on a dry day, but this is the thing. Today they have a scheduled power outage for the utility company from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. I figured the power will be on by about 12 noon. It's about 10 a.m. right now, and you can see my meter. There's nothing on my meter right here. That right here, there would typically be numbers, okay, lit up. That tells me that the power and stuff is actually on. So that means by me working in this panel here, this panel, I can't turn off the two top breakers. This is a 400 amp service panel. So let me pop this open here real quick so you guys can actually see them. But as you can see, there's two panel breakers there at the top. And this one, I had both of these turned off here while I was working in here. You don't want to touch anything up here because that's all hot. But over here, I got this off. And this is what's going to that panel I'm about to start working on. So even if the power comes back on, I'm safe. I'm fully safe. So, you know, unless I screw something up in the wiring, and then, yeah, I'm not going to be very safe then. But other than that, you know, the fact of the matter is, got the power off here, got this side wired up. We're going to go over there. We're going to work on that. And then we got to dig a nice long ditch all the way to that building over there. And that's going to be a fun job. That's a 20-foot long ditch versus this easy dig in here of probably not even 10 feet. So let's go ahead and let's go and get this side wired up so I can get in out of the rain. I'm sick and tired of it. All our miners and everything's down right now because of the power outage. So I'd have to shut them back down again. So that's why I chose to do this today in the rain. And yeah, it's turning into one of those shit jobs real fast. My boots are just, yeah, you can tell I am absolutely caked in mud. I got mud all down my pants, mud everything. My jacket's soaked, and I'm wearing a Carhartt jacket. I mean, I'm drenched. So I'm going to probably be sick after this. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get this panel wired up so I can go in the house.